Hello, Facebook family. This is Brother Bobby here to teach you another lesson on the Wisdom to Wealth course. Today, I'm talking about the law of difference. The law of difference. Excuse me for being so dressed up, but I've been shooting my video for our course, getting it ready so that we can have it developed. And I have another product called the 5 Biblical Principles that I'm working on. So please forgive me for being a little dressed up. It's not what I am normally. But back to our subject, we're talking about the law of difference. The law of difference. This is going to be the best year that you ever had as far as your finances go. You can make that choice. The choice is all up to you. It's not up to anyone else. And once again, we're going back to the law of difference. We live in a society where most people is trying to fit in and impress everyone around them. And if you are wanting to press and be different in your finances, to have more money than most people around you and be part of the few, you're going to have to learn to celebrate your difference. Now, God made all of us different, but we live in a society where everybody want to be the same, be accepted, and be in the clique or be in the family. And unfortunately, just studying successful people for years, I've noticed that highly successful people that have money, they're different from everybody else. They have different habits. They have a different way that they live life. They have a different way, the way they view life. They have a different way, the way they spend their time. And so what I'm saying is that if you want what the few people have and you want to get out of your job, quit your job, whatever it is, and step out and start that business so that you and your family can make some real money, then you're going to have to quit worrying about being liked by a bunch of people. I'm going to give you some examples in the Bible. And even at your job, the stuff that I'm teaching you about, like the law of difference, it's going to bring conflict. It's going to bring people disliking you for whatever reason. You have nothing to do with that. But once you get over the initial fear of what people say, think, and worried about what somebody else might say, that's when you have a real breakthrough in your finances. Because you need to understand that, what is the ideology to, I want to be like a king, but I care about what the masses is saying. Kings are rare. Queens are rare. Priests are rare. They're not common. So, once again, it goes back to the rule where Jesus says, wide is the road to destruction, narrow is the road to life. And Jesus said that I came to give you life that you may have it more abundantly. So more abundantly, that means your finances. So if you want to go down the narrow road to life and live life more abundantly, then you're going to have to break off from the 95% and be willing to go down the road that the 5% is willing to go down. You're going to have to be willing to work on yourself. You're going to have to be willing to let some friends go, some family members. I mean, it is what it is. And but Jesus in Matthew 7:29, when he came on the scene, they said that he doesn't teach like the Pharisees, the others. They said that he teaches as if he had authority. So he was different. Matter of fact, his difference is the one that got Jesus in trouble. So the bottom line that if you don't want to get in any trouble, rock any boats, or this ain't for you. But for some of the rebels out there, I've been a rebel all my life, man. And so people not liking me for one thing or another, or, that really doesn't bother me anymore, and I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm 51 years old, going into 51 this year, and it took me many years to figure it out. It really doesn't matter what people say or think, long as I know that I'm trying to do the right thing and help other people out. So, then we're going to move over to Daniel, the book of Daniel. When Daniel, you want favor on your job. You want favor. Right now, if you have a job, all these principles is showing you how to have favor even with your boss so that you'll get a raise. So I'm going to show you here in the book of Daniel how they were different. See, the majority of society likes to sit around and talk about the boss or talk about whatever someone said or did, gossiping at work. You are called to be different. And when you're being different, guess what? The first thing people are going to say, I remember when I first became a Christian back in 94, about to do some serious time from dealing drugs. Change, whenever change comes, what you need to understand is that it brings conflict. And so if you don't like conflict, then that comes with the territory. But you're going to have to suffer the pain of staying the same if you don't. So the temporary pain of change is good because it's just temporary. But if you stay the same and don't want to change, that's painful how you're living right there. So the majority of people want to do the least amount of work and get paid the most amount of money. And as an employer, I'm telling you, it do not go that way. It's the reverse. So in Daniel and his four friends, they had just got transferred. The kingdom had got conquered, and they got transferred. The Babylonian king had brought the people of God over to them, and these four Hebrew boys. In Daniel 1, it says, "As for these four children, God gave them knowledge and skill," your talent. You hear that? "In all learning and wisdom." So learning and wisdom was part of their ability. And Daniel in understanding and visions and dreams. And now at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. And the king communed with them, and among them all found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king. So do you hear that? They were skilled in learning and wisdom. And so the king required of them and asked them to come before him. And it says over in verse 20, "In all matters of wisdom and understanding, that the king inquired of them, and he found them 10 times better than all the magicians, astrologers were in his realm." The law of difference. You have to differentiate yourself from everybody else. You have to differentiate yourself from your other employees, your coworkers around you. If you want to stick out like a sore thumb, if you don't like sticking out like a sore thumb and you want to blend in, then be okay with where you at. Because if you want to be the few, you're different. And you're going to have to be okay with sticking out. So, that being said, most people tell you, hey, go find a job and go do something else. No, I tell you, go start a business. Find your gift and go start a business. Because if you plan on bringing real increase to your family's house, or real money where you can go wherever you want, whenever you want, you're going to have to start your own business. No millionaire I know have became a millionaire by working for somebody. That's the facts. They all own their own business. So I encourage you to find your gift. Don't worry about blending in, what people might say down the street or this, that, and the other. I remember when I went to the church God called me to go to down here. I'm not going to say their name. But I remember when I was training as a deacon there, and I was a deacon, deacons is nothing but table servants. That's all we are. But I remember when we was training to be a deacon, we had issues with, people standing around, looking like we're important. All we are is table servants. So I would do the things that the other people wouldn't do. Leadership, there was a kid's toilet that was leaking. And so the other deacon standing there looking like, okay, who's going to fix it? Man, I took my jacket off, rolled up my sleeves, or said, give me the plunger. Let me go in here and clean this. Whenever it was a hard job, I wasn't standing around with my hands crossed looking important. I got out and did whatever it took for me to do to get it done. And I wasn't trying to impress anybody. It's because I just have over the years learned being a servant, doing whatever it takes. So I guess I was getting on some of the leadership nerves there. They kind of let me go. I had some dilemmas where I had some legal issues that was going on that wasn't my fault, by the way. I had nothing to do with it. And by the way, God delivered me out of it. But the bottom line, I was making people feel uncomfortable because I was doing more than was required of me. So I got in trouble. Matter of fact, they set me down. But while they were standing around talking amongst each other, chit-chatting about little social stuff, I didn't do that. I was busy vacuuming the sanctuary or straightening up chairs or cleaning up some kind of way or another. But I did not stand still. I kept working. So that was making them feel uncomfortable. So they had to figure out a way to get rid of me because, in all honesty, they was being lazy. It is what it is. So do expect when you start applying this principle, differentiating yourself from your surroundings and the people around you, and your gifts, and you understanding your gifts and talents, we are not called to blend in. Jesus called us a light. And a light in a dark world. We're supposed to be sitting on the hill. So, me saying that, I'm just letting you know, don't be scared to be different. Difference is good. In God's kingdom, different is good. So, the law of difference is what's going, even in my business, when I learned it's called a USP, unique selling proposition. What differentiates me from everyone else? When I go to my customers, I don't ask what I can get for free. When I go to my customers, I bring their whole staff lunch. See, I do something different than what everybody else is doing. Yes. Sometimes I'll send a detailer over to some of my customers to clean their cars for them for free. I pay for it. See, I'm doing what I'm teaching you. The law and this, get other people to talking about you, get the buzz about you. Hey, he's different. He does this. So the law of difference. Don't be scared to be different. Celebrate your difference. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't need to blend in. I don't need to be okay with everybody else. Remember in the Bible, God talks about the remnant. God always have a remnant. Are you with the masses or are you one of the remnant? The 10%. The remnant. I'd rather be with the few. Imperfect as I am, I still rather be with the few and be with God and do the right thing than go lie, cheat, and steal like the masses do. That's what everybody else do. And I'm not telling you that you might not get in trouble. You might get in trouble for doing the right thing. I can't tell you how many times I done got in trouble for doing the right thing, speaking the truth when I so-called should have held my tongue. But in the midst of all that, me getting sat down as a deacon and all that, God had laid it on my heart to start a business, and he made it boom. God made it boom because of the understanding that I have of the laws that I'm trying to teach. So be different. Kings are few and far between. Queens are few and far between. Good leadership is few and far between. Hard to find in this crooked and perverse world. So I'm telling you, don't be scared to be different. Don't be scared to do the right thing, because the one that's got his hands on your blessing sees all and knows all. Difference is good. Even now, you know, some of my old friends that I run into from back in Joliet, they try to, how can I say, relate to me in my old state. I'm not that no more. I'm a different person. My mind thinks different from, first of all, I was a foolish person in my 20s. Foolish, very foolish. Now I'm in my 50s. So I don't think like I used to think. Different person. I understood what God has made me. You guys are kings and priests. So be different. If you get ridiculed, soon as you, mind this and I'm going to let you go. Soon as you go to be different, the first thing people are going to say around you, your family and friends, oh, you think you missed the big shot now? No, I just know that I'm not staying here. I'm not going to stay in this place. This is not good for me. I don't want to end up here. I got to step out and be different. So ridicule comes with it. Let it be. So that's it, people. Your difference, the law of difference. Stand out. God bless you. I love you. Have a good night.